Welcome to SewVeryEasy. My name is Laura, and I have been able to find some Barbie fabric. So I'm going to turn a regular quilt pattern into a bed runner. The pattern's free. We just need to make it a little shorter. The fabric is from Riley Blake, and of course it's called Barbie Girl. We do have Barbie, her shoes of course, Barbie words, Barbie faces, and Barbie. We definitely have a lot of Barbie. So with all of this, I am going to turn a quilt pattern into a bed runner. Now a bed runner is just a thin version of a quilt that's going to lay on the back of your bed. So in this case, I'm not using all of it. I'm going to shorten it and do this version. So we're not going to need as much fabric, and we're going to have to change the side of this border. Other than that, all of the sizes are going to be the same. And we're going to start with some pre-cuts. 10-inch pre-cut squares. If you don't have pre-cuts, you could definitely cut them on your own. So I will only need 10 10-inch squares. But of course you can use as many as you want or make it as big as you want. So I have those 10 pre-cut squares. The pattern has a nice letter B, so I have prepared my fusible web for the letter B. And we need some Barbie heads, and I will be doing 3 of them. I'm still going to have that sashing and the cornerstones. So I did take time and fussy cut all of those cornerstones out. So I had a Barbie head in them, and I did those words in that striped fabric. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take care of these fusible pieces. So I have the B for the Barbie and my Barbie heads. So what I've done is I've taken a piece of fusible web, and in this case I am using a Heat and Bond light. So I've just traced over top of it. Now that B looks backwards, but when it gets ironed onto fabric, it will be the right side. You need to trace this so that the paper side is up. And then I'm going to be able to take that and follow the directions of whatever company you're using and fuse this onto the back of the fabric. I'm going to do that for the B and my 3 heads. Be sure to follow your directions. But there's one thing that they all have in common. We're tracing on the paper side. So that bumpy side is the glue. And that is going to be fused onto the back of the fabric. Once it's fused on, we need to let that cool down. Once it's cooled down, then we are able to cut that shape out. So you can see how that shape will be reversed. Now you can always have Barbie facing in 2 different directions if you'd like, but be sure to have that B going in the right direction. Out of your remaining 10 squares, take some of those squares out and we're going to fuse on the B's and the heads. From here, I'm going to applique these shapes on. I'm going to use a buttonhole stitch and go all the way around. In order to prevent this from shifting, I would recommend putting a stabilizer on the back. It could be a tearaway stabilizer, a cutaway stabilizer, whatever you feel comfortable using. Once the appliques are done and that stabilizer is taken off, put them all in order so that their right sides are up. Take the rest of the squares and make sure that they are all in the right side going up. We do want to pay attention at this point to this direction. We now are going to put some sashing on them. I have 10 squares, so I have 10 pieces of sashing in the bottom. These are 1.5 inches by 10 inches. I also have the same 10 on this side, and I'm going to put cornerstones on. But the first thing I'm going to do is sew all of those onto the bottom. And if you have directional fabric, you're going to be able to make sure that that fits. So everything will be reading in the right direction. Once the 10 bottom are done, we're going to be able to attach those cornerstones onto those strips. I do want to make sure that in my case, since I did fussy cut them, that all of the heads are also going in the right direction. So I'll sew these together first and then join them onto the sides. I like to add my sashing on now. That way I can rearrange my blocks and I only will need to put a little bit more on to finish it off. So let's rearrange them until we like the look, and I'm going to do 2 rows of 5. So this is how I am going to lay them out. And when we look, we're going to notice that this half already has the sashing and the cornerstones done. I will need 2 pieces of sashing and the cornerstones on the left-hand side and all of them on the top. And this is the time that I'm going to lay them out and make sure that my little heads are in the right direction. Then I'm going to be able to sew those pieces together and put them on in the right area. So I'm going to have complete blocks, not one long row of sashing. I find this way is a lot easier than that long strip. Once we have all the center put together, we're going to put on our big borders. They're both cut at 4 inches. We're going to put that short side on first, and we're going to cut that to 22.5 inches. Once that's on, we're going to be able to put these long borders on, and they will be cut at 61 inches. And the bed runner will end up being 68 inches by 22.5 inches. And that Barbie bed runner top is now complete. Pink goes with a lot of things when you throw in a little dash of black. Well, maybe not this bright pink, but these softer pinks definitely read Barbie and would be really cute in any room. Now, if you cannot get enough Barbie fabric, you can always use some light pinks. Use those heads, that letter B, and well, we have Barbie. Thank you for joining me today on So Very Easy. Feel free to subscribe. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. I do have a newsletter. It's all free and it's fun under So Very Easy. Thanks again. Bye for now.